Alright, welcome everyone. My name is Kevin1322 on Candle Power Forums. It's been a while since I've done a review, so bear with me. This is a layman's review, so just a user review. I am certainly not a professional at it at all, and just kind of tell you some things that I said. And I've been asked to do this. This is for the TM16GTvn. So this is Nitecore, and it's been modified by Vinh on Candle Power Forums. Today is April 2nd, 2016. I have had the TK75Q, ended up selling that for some different reasons, so I can give you some variances of the two. I have not had in possession the T6, Vinh's new one coming out, so I can't tell you about that one much at all. So this light I really like. As I said, I'd had the TK75Q before. Absolutely amazing light, and I actually ended up getting rid of it, and now I have this one. I will definitely be keeping this one. It just, to me, is better for what I want. Now, some of the differences. Phoenix is, by those who know, seems to have a better build quality than Nitecore. Now again, I'm not a huge build quality person. If it looks good, it feels good, I'm good with it. As far as the inside, you know, Vinh's going to mod it. He's going to take any weaknesses and make them better. So I don't worry about that so much. So Nitecore may not be as good a build as Phoenix or this particular light, but it's still a good quality build from what I've seen. And again, on the inside, Vinh's touched up anything that needed to be. Now this one is brighter and throws further by a little bit than my personal TK75. It was measured at 5,000 lumens out the front. This model is measured at 6,300 lumens out the front. I'm sorry, the model that Vinh measured of this Nitecore, the TM16GTvn, was measured at 6,300. This particular light, exact light, was not measured by Vinh. The TK75Q that I had was measured by Vinh at 355K lux. Vinh's version of this TM, he measured at 402K lux. So a little bit of difference in lux, so this should be given a little more throw. We may or may not be able to see that difference, but the extra 1,300 lumen, I'm guessing we will be able to see a little bit of a difference. Again, I don't have the TK75QVN. I've sold mine, so I don't have it to compare, so I'm just giving you things that I remember. Size-wise, these are going to be probably almost identical, both the head width and the body, with one exception, in that I was not able to put this Nitecore handle on the TK75. The handle itself was wider. Now this handle, according to Nitecore, is 52 millimeters wide. They must be talking about this portion right here, because the body is definitely thinner than that. Otherwise this handle would not fit on it. And it's actually, even though it's meant for a 50 millimeter light, it still has a little wiggle in it. So got to be less than that. So let me compare this to sizes to some others in case you haven't had another similar light. Here is the K40 that a lot of people know, and then just a tiny bit longer. Of course, it's going to have a much smaller head. And then my favorite, and may not be anymore, but we'll see, the X40. Again, much smaller head. And while the tail is a little bit bigger, the bodies are about the same, which would make sense since the handle fits on it. The I40, awesome light also. Of course, going to be much shorter. And again, going to be a smaller head, which is why, of course, the Nitecore is throwing a lot further. Now, another advantage over, oops, I hit the button. Another advantage over the Nitecore versus the TK75 is it has battery slots. So there's no battery encasing or pull out, put the batteries in, and stick it back in. I like that. It's just one more thing not to break, not to deal with. Now I thought about taking the handle off, but everybody's seen pictures of the light without a handle. With the handle is the different thing, so that's why I kept it on. Again, this is a Nitecore handle. Now if you're familiar with the VNX driver, Vin's driver, then you'll know you have lots of different possibilities. There's definitely several different line numbers you can use. My big bright lights, I like line 11. It gives me 1%, 5%, 15%, 50%, 70%, and 100% light. Now there's two switches on this, but it doesn't matter. Once you get those drivers in there, both buttons do the same thing. So one can be on, the other can be off, or the same one on and off, or one you hold down, you cycle through the modes. It doesn't matter. They're all going to do the same thing. So if that's your question, you don't ever have to worry about hitting the wrong button. With my handle, what I found nicely, one that it fits, but two, my finger easily just comes down and hit the button, so I can do whatever I want. Definitely a very big plus for me. I have what I consider small hands, and small fat hands I should say. So holding the light, well, definitely possible and easy enough. Over time, my hands are going to get a little fatigued, so for longer walks and hikes, I just like to have the handle. That's me. Now Vinh had said that he didn't think the optics were the best, the reflectors, and that they had some specs on them. I found one tiny little speck on mine, and I guess that makes a difference, but to me, that's not a reason not to buy a light. I have to say, Vinh has given me such good beams over the years that I've kind of become a beam snob per se myself, but for multiple LED lights, it's pretty hard to get that perfect beam, and because of the performance, I am actually okay with this beam. The beam is not going to be as good as the TK75QVN, and I'm okay with that. It's still, for me, good enough for me. So let's go through their modes real quick. As with the VNX driver, if you hold the button down, you're going to get the lowest mode. Whether you're on or off, if you double click, you're going to get to, ow, that hurt. You're going to get to whatever, actually a mode you want. It could be 100%, could be blink. I've got mine to 100%. If you hold it down, again, it comes on, and then you can hold it down and cycle through the modes. So again, that's 1%, 5%, 15%, 50%, 70%, and 100%. That is bright, and I've got it on a brown blanket. It's still blinding me. The lights are on in here. Now I'm suspecting, just out of using it outside, and I'm in the city, 50% is a lot of light, and that's probably what I'll use it most of the time if it has time to stretch its legs. And then I have the 100% if I really need to see something. But even the 5% is putting out a lot of light, plenty of light for walking, depending on the situation. Obviously, I'm not going to have it on 50% if I'm walking a trail other people are on. I'm just going to blind them. In fact, I did have somebody at the end of the street the other night. The first night I got this, I was trying it out. And I had my I-40, tried that. The X-40, tried that. Had the K-40, tried that. Droning down the street, up at the trees. Didn't hear anything back. I did the TM16GTvn, put that on bright at the trees up top, and I still had people yelling at me to turn the light off because it was so bright in the block. So that's just kind of funny. I'm not going to do too many beam shots with this light. I've noticed that beam shots with a video really doesn't come out well. It comes out blurry, or it doesn't really show the effect how bright it is. So I'm not going to have a video too. I'll just do some extra pictures, still pictures for this light. I'll try that. So just in case you can see, I don't think you're going to be able to. We'll bump it up. But you can see, again, it's a multiple LED light. So when you're close up, you're not going to get the perfect round circle and the perfect hot spot that people like. But of course, as you go farther away, that disappears. Now you can see you've got a better a circle, and then kind of actually two that I've seen intermediate circles, which really blend quite nicely when you're outside. So you're not getting just this really tight hot spot and then the spill. A very, very useful beam in my opinion. Now these are the pedals that people talk about, they think are ugly. Outside, again, to me, just not a big deal. And then you've got some other artifacts in here. Again, it's not a huge deal. It's certainly not a perfect beam like some of the others, but for the performance this light is giving, I'm just fine with it, and I'm really excited. I should be going on a night hike tonight, and I'm really excited to take that out. So that is the TM16GTvn, Nitecore Tiny Monster, newest one Vinh did. Now again, Vin's not doing a version of this. If you want one, he'll probably do one for you, but he's going to the T6 now. He's considered that the best of the three. I will not be getting that light because this one is great for me. So hopefully that answers some of your questions that some of you were looking for. I'll try to get this uploaded and then try to do some still pics. Thanks for watching.